Okay, so today we're doing rotations, but first let's think we've done reflections, which is a flip over a line. We've done translations, which is a slide. And now we're going to do rotations. And there's two types of rotations. A rotation is a turn around the graph, and you can either turn about the origin, or it can be a turn about a point. So if we look here, we're going to do a 75-degree rotation about point P. So every point must turn 75 degrees, okay? And then the measure of the angle formed by each pre-image point, so that's the pre-image and this is the angle, and the corresponding image is going to be 75 degrees. And that will be true for X, it'll be true for Y, and it will be true for Z. All these angles would be 75. So what do you think about how you would rotate an image all the way back onto itself? Well, it's 360 degrees around the circle, so it's 360 degrees around, and it would lay on top of itself. It would be in the same spot. All right, so a rotation. It's a transformation that rotates each point in the pre-image about point P, that's where it tells us, called the center of rotation, by an angle measure of X degrees, called the angle of rotation. So A rotates about point P. Now all these rotations, by the way, are counterclockwise unless it tells you. So here's A, and it's going this way, okay? So if we look at these, rules can be used to rotate a figure 90, 180, and 270, about the origin. Okay, but if you just remember how it goes, and this is what I was talking about the other day, and I'm going to show you this in class too. So if I think about getting to this point, I'm at the origin, I would go over 1 and up 2. So that point is at 1, 2. Now if I do that, if I'm going to move 90 degrees, I'm going to do that same motion. Out 1, over 2. And I'm at -2, 1. So do you see the pattern? X becomes Y, and Y moves to the X position and becomes opposite X. But that 90 degrees, it's like moving that point, turning this graph, one turn. You see how it would lay right there on top? And then same here. If I was to do out 1 over 2, and then I move 180 degrees, which would be, that would be 90 degrees. This would be 180. And I went out 1, down 2. And there it's at. -1, -2. And you can see that pattern. XY becomes opposite X, opposite Y. And we will talk about the next one in class. All right, so what is a rotation of 90 degrees about the origin? Now this says to follow these rules, okay? And it did that. It just flipped these things. But I want you to see the pattern. I want to try to do the pattern, so you can see the pattern. You don't have to memorize the rules, okay? So let's look at D. I'm at the origin, okay? And first off, let's think about 90 degrees is how many quadrants? It'd be 1. So C is going to end up this way. If D is here, it will move 1 quadrant. A and B would move 1 quadrant that way. Okay, so everybody moved 1 quadrant from where they were. So if I am here, I'm going to go out to C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I'm going to go 1. I'm going to do that same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And that's my C prime. And if I just turn this, do you see it would be at 4, -2? Just like I made it. -4, -2. So now let's do A. Well, A, I'm going to go out 1, 2, 3, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to move 1 and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's my A prime. B, I'm going to go out 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do the same thing, out 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's my B prime. And then D, 1, 2, 1. Move 90 degrees and go 1, 2. But I got to go this way, 1. And D is there. So my new shape, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, looks like that. I took that shape and I spun it once. See? All right, we're going to do the try-its in class. And we are going to do the rest in class. All right, see you tomorrow.